A smiling face is a beautiful face. A smiling heart is a happy heart. A genial welcome to all my viewers today. Today we are going to see the line by line summary of the poetry written by William Butler Yeats. When You're Old, written by William Butler Yeats, is a lyric of 12 lines in 3 stanzas. It is addressed to Morgan, with whom he was deeply in love. And the point to be noted is Yeats was deeply in love with her, but Morgan rejected his love. The poet expresses his distress, his pain in this poetry. In this poem, the poet narrates how his beloved Morgan would grow old with the passage of time. Her beauty, her youthful energy would vanish, and she would pass the time dozing by the fireside as the old lady. She would perhaps pick up the volume of the poet's collected poems. So here, poet is advising his beloved that when she is old and full of sleep and tired, his advice to his beloved is to take his book and open his book and read about the poetry written by Yeats in memory or in order to show his deep love to his beloved Morgan. According to poet W.B. Yeats, his beloved would be remembered of the loveliness of her eyes that she once possessed and of their deep shadows. Deep shadows here means the sadness. Even though in her youth she is very beautiful, she has inner pain and sorrows. At the time, she might think that many young people loved her beauty and youth. But there was only one whose love was sincere and genuine, that is poet himself. The poet loved her not for her physical beauty, but for her soul, the inner soul or the inner qualities of her. And here Yeats tells that he is being attracted to Morgan not only of her physical appearance or beauty, but of her character. The poet, among all those good for her and her love, her because sorrow and suffering were depicted on her face. So the first line, you can see that even though she is young, she has inner sorrows and pain, and according to the poet, only one person can understand her feelings and sorrows is poet himself. The pursual of the poet. The meaning of pursual means following her. The poet closely followed Morgan because his love for her is divine love. And poet is telling that if she is not going to accept him or his love, definitely one day she will regret for it. But at the same time, poet is telling and consoling her that now in not in your young days you realized my value, but definitely one day you will realize my value, and you will remember that only one person loved her was poet himself. He was dead and gone. According to poet, he is telling that right now he's foreseeing his future and telling that he may not be no more in the world, and his soul must be either hovering among the mountain. Hovering means still remain. Even after the death, even in her physical appearance, his physical appearance, he cannot be with Morgan, but he is telling that he will definitely wait for Morgan because his love towards her is sincere. The poem presents or portrays a decaying and dying youth and beauty. So here you can say that the time frame of the poet, the present, past and future. In the present, the poet is, the lady is very beautiful and she's young and energetic. So many are behind her because she is a pretty girl and she is she got she got a strong character and strong personality. The poet has referred to it the time and again, and he is telling that, see, in this present age, you may not understand or you may not reciprocate my love. Reciprocate means you may not return my love. And so many suitors are behind her. You, it is only they are attracted to your physical beauty, but only I am attracted towards to your spiritually. And she would have to repent for her folly. Folly means mistake in her old age, choosing a right person and rejecting William W.B. Yeats. Her youth and beauty would wither away. One day, definitely, she will become old, and nobody will be around her in order to appreciate her beauty. In that time, the lady may feel lonely. That time, the poet is telling, take out this book and read that, so that in your old days you will understand that you are not alone, your beloved is with you. That is W.B. Yeats. But at the same time, he is cautioning the lady, telling that one day you will regret. But still he is telling that I love you so much because my love to you was spiritual, not a physical love. In the summary, When You Are Old is a lyric poem in which Yeats, or the speaker, himself addresses a woman he loves. He asks her to return to the poem he has written for her when she is in old and grey and tired, and to use the speaker's poem as a way of remembering her youthful beauty and how many people loved and admired her. So, three things for the first stanza for you to remember that. The first stanza, the poet is addressing his woman in love and ask her to return to the poem he has written when he was young itself. That shows that his care and concern towards her. And he is requesting that when you are tired, when you are lonely and your beauty and charm is gone, that time you read the book, then you will understand the intensity, how much I loved you. The one pilgrim soul, he himself says that one pilgrim soul means the divine soul who loved her so deeply was poet himself. So he considered himself as not a lover, as a pilgrim soul, a divine lover. The poet tells her that he loved her even as he got older and he lost her all charm and beauty. Even in her old age, his love towards her will be as new as ever. When You Are Old is comprised of 3 stanzas, each stanza having 4 lines. So as I told you, the first stanza opens with poets revealing to the lover, opening his heart towards the lover, telling that my love for you is everlasting. Even in your youthful days and in your old age, my love will be same forever. And in your difficulties and in your bad times and your good times, I will be there with you. That is what the poet is telling. In the second stanza, it's a continuation of the first, and this time speaker is reminding his lover of how many people have approached her to get married to her when she was young. But now you can see that when she's old, nobody is there to appreciate or to show to share her pain. All were attracted towards her, only seeing the physical beauty. You can see in the fifth line the phrase glad grace. Glad grace is an alliteration, repetition of the sound. Glad grace, which further adds to the musical rhythm. In sixth line also you can see muse beauty. That means allowed your beauty with false or true love. So he is telling that so many loved you in your youth days, but you have to check whether it is false or true love. And he considered himself as a pilgrim soul. A pilgrim is one who travels for religious reasons. So you can understand that he have not loved anybody else except Morgan. Perhaps he is accusing his former beloved for as being restless. And here you can see again he is telling that the word pilgrim. He is a divine and a pure soul, and he have loved only Morgan in his life. The speaker takes this one step further to the final line, telling that his lover, that means he loved the sorrows of changing face. These are the phrases which is used in the poetry. Sorrows of the changing face, which means he loved her, even her beauty, and even the beauty fades away, his love remains ever changing. The last line, hid his face amid the crowd of stars, contains very beautiful imagery. That is hiding your face amidst the stars. That means love hiding between the stars in heaven. He is telling that even if he is not there with her, his love remains forever. So he wanted to tell that in his absence also he wanted the lover to feel his depth of his love. And he says that he will be waiting in heaven, and you may regret right now because you have selected a wrong person in your life. The first two stanza is a romantic and positive, the loss of speaker's loves. In the third stanza, you can see that he is telling that he's full of regret because he couldn't get back his love. Even though he is taking the first two stanza in a positive way, that he will his love for her is genuine and true, and he's cautioning in the second stanza, telling that one day you will regret because she never gave or returned back the love. But the third stanza, you can see that the poet is full of regret. In spite of constant approach towards this lady, the lady was not ready to accept him. The speaker then returns to his lover, becomes woman, telling that bending down beside the glowing bars. So that the phrase from the poetry, these first two lines of the third stanza depict that old woman bending closer to fire. That means in this age she is absolutely helpless, and only thing what she can cherish is to think about her youthful days, where how many people and how or you can think she can only do thing cherish the good old memories. The last two lines tell that love fled, paced about the mountains overhead, and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. So here the poet is telling that even after the death, he is not ready to forgo his love. Definitely his love for her is everlasting and immortal. Now, when you are old, let us see the poetry. When you are old and grey and full of sleep. So here, the first opening line of the poetry, the poet is telling them right now when this lady is in her youth age itself, he is writing this poetry. So you can see his real love, his care. When you are old, just imagining when the lady become old and full of sleep, means tired and helpless, and when she is sitting next to the fire, and she's all alone in the house. He is advising the beloved to take the book and read slowly. So that to be noted, he's asking her to read it slowly and dream of the soft looks. Soft look means your youth, and your dream of your soft look means your beauty. You are young, your youthful days. Your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. Even in your youth days, you had trouble, but nobody never looked up into the problems of life. Only I can read, even though you are not happy, but still you are smiling. I can only read your mind, understood. The people are behind her, seeing only the physical beauty. But one person can read the mind of the poet was the lover was poet himself. The paraphrase line by line. So, when you are old and your hair turn grey, and when you look sometimes near fire sleepy, then you should pick up this book. Then I'm writing and reading this poem. So you have to imagine that the poet is writing a poem for his beloved. And this poetry, what Yeats is writing right now, reminds her the beautiful thoughts about her youthful days. The first stanza's paraphrase is this: when the lady is old and she's tired and full of sleep and nobody's around her, when she's helpless, take out the book of poetry written by Yeats and read very slowly and cherish your good old memories. The fire dozing. As she sits near the fire is a lonely winter. So here, sitting next to the fire means it's a very cold weather and she's lonely. So she's sitting next to the fireplace. Dream means think of past, youthful days. Soft look. Soft look means her beauty, her youth. Her eyes has an enchantment. Enchantment means a great pleasure. They lent to her face and look charm sweetness. So you have to remember about the youth days. And in her old age, she would remember this soft look with regret. So here the poet is cautioning that when you are young, in your youth age, you never remembered, or you never thought that these days will be there for you. But right now, I know that in your old age, you are regretting because you rejected my love. Second stanza. How many loved your moments of glad grace, and loved your beauty with love false or true. So the second stanza, first line, he is telling how many. Yes, definitely Morgan was a pretty figure in the locality. So many people were behind her because of her beauty and elegance, and loved your beauty with false or true. So he is telling that there you have to question yourself whether these people are true lovers or false lovers. But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you. The poet himself is telling that my love for you is true love, and he calls himself as a pilgrim soul, and loved the sorrows of your changing face. I can understand every moment of your life, and I can understand your sorrows, and even I can foresee your future also. Again, the paraphrase. You will remember that many men. Paraphrase of the second lines. So remember that many men loved you because you were beautiful. But I don't think so. They were true lovers. They were behind you because of your physical beauty, or they were attracted towards you only of your physical charm. Glad grace. The explanation of the difficult phrases. Glad grace means during her youth, his beloved has a grace and beauty that arises out of joy of living. She was very beautiful. Her youthfulness lent a charm to all her moments. How many great. This is being connected with the idea earlier, the beloved in her old age. Glad grace in your youth time. Right now, you lost your charm. So you remember your youth right now. The poet tells her how she would be remember her old lovers who are no more. Right now, the lady will regret because the old lovers who were there asking or walking behind her, they are no more right now with her because they were only interested only in their physical appearance. The last stanza, and bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled, and paced upon the mountains overhead, and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. Bending down beside the glowing bars, that is, the glowing, you murmur to yourself that you love has left you, has hidden itself far away. So explanation here, the bending down, his beloved in her old age would bend down. The glowing bars mean the iron bars in the fireplace are glowing hot because of the fire is burning, and bending love fled. So here he is telling bending down beside glowing bars. In the third stanza, he is telling that, talking about the old age, he herself cannot walk without anybody's support, and he is stooping down, and the iron bars next to the fireplace is very hot because of the because the fire is burning. And glowing bars, the iron bars in the fireplace is very hot right now. The poet imagines that in her old age his beloved would feel that love has left the world. So here the poet is telling, right now murmur a little sadly how love fled. In her old age, when she's weak and when she's sitting next to the fire, she can't even talk louder, she's murmuring a little sadly. That is, she's really sad. How love fled. See, how love fled means now nobody is there to care for her. And paced upon the mountains overhead and hid himself among the mountains. So here he is telling, the poet is telling, in her old age, his beloved would feel that love has left the world, and he lives now in the stars and the mountains because right now WB is no more. In other words, she will feel loneliness of the old age when all lovers will forsake her. Paced upon, walked upon, and paced overhead, love longer lives on earth, but upon lofty mountain peaks, and hid. So she will be searching, where is my, and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. Right now, the lady Morgan will definitely look for WB Yeats, but right now he is no more there. So she's regretting telling that why she never realized the true love of WB Yeats or the speaker. A bending down his beloved means the age, because of the age or the problems of life, she is feeling little low. Glowing bars mean the iron bar which is kept in the place, because she is advising the beloved to read this book near to the fireplace. A bending love fled. The poet imagines that in her old age his beloved would feel that love has left. That means nobody is there to love. So that time definitely she will look for WB's love, the speaker's love. So let us go through once again. So I have briefed all the three stanza in detail. Let us sum up the poetry. So first stanza starts with the poet addressing Morgan when imagining or predicting her old age. When you are old, you have to take the book written by me and read it very slowly. And he is asking her to compare old age with her youth. In her youth time, so many people were around her. Right now, in her old age, she alone sitting next to the fireplace and nothing to cherish. That time, you have to read the book written about you. And in the book, I have written about my divine love, my how I loved you seriously. Morgan, in brief, we can tell that the poet wants Morgan to have feel of the terror of the old age, that is full of sleep. In fact, we can tell that the poet is threatening, if you are not going to love me, this is going to happen in your future. That is, the people who are loving are not true lovers, they are loving you just because of your beauty. In the second stanza, further he asks Morgan to recollect how many were behind you and how nice the days were, where you were surrounded with so many people, but they were attracted to you only because of your physical appearance. And one among those people was me, and he was a purity of soul. Her soul was his love was divine, but never you reciprocated the love, and in your old age you are going to regret for it. It also means that he loves her even now, and that is, you can see that in her old age also you cares, that a person whom really loves only, they will be bothered about your future. So we can tell that W. Beats' love towards Morgan was sincere. This, the speaker says to Morgan that when she lies down in the bed and sitting next to the chimney and reading, she must say to herself in a sad soliloquy. Soliloquy means saying to yourself, talking to yourself, that with the departure of your youth and charms. So what all things she will be saying in the third stanza? She will be remembering about her youth, her old age, and the false love where the lovers were not real. They were false lovers, and their love have vanished or evaporated because right now in the midst of the mountain and stars, because their love was not real. So according to W. Bates, the love lasts forever till in your difficult times and good times. That is the true love. By saying this, speaker also intends saying that in comparison to false lover. So here he is making a comparison between the true lovers, that is he himself, and the fake lovers who was walking behind Morgan. Only true lover who had loved her all through from your youth to the old age. So he is telling that his love for her, it's not only for the physical attraction, it was a divine love, or a you can say that it's a spiritual love, or a pilgrim love, or an everlasting love, or a true love. I hope you understood all the three stanzas. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment box. So subscribe to my channel in order to motivate me. So I hope and pray that you'll have a blessed week ahead. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed.